Good afternoon to an insanely hot Peterborough. This is incredible temperatures. Currently the greenhouse, you might be able to see that, 43.6 degrees. That is ridiculous. And the pond is 24.2, but bearing in mind that the temperature probe is inside the filter, which is inside the greenhouse. Not taking any chances. I've got the second air pump running and I've got plenty of auxiliary air banging through there. The fish don't seem too concerned, but I'm not taking any chances. They're having the air and that's it. The upper pond has got a single air stone as well. The fish are feeding, well, I just can't feed them enough. They're just basically emptying me out of house and home. Right, you probably noticed that I've got a blue stool. So what we've done, or what we've agreed on, is that we will feed them while sitting on that stool. Now what we should have done from day one when the fish were smaller was that. Feed them there, get them used to hand feeding, and all the time we'll watch the likes of Andy Daly, Koi Diaries, subscribe to his channel. He goes to the same spot and the fish are straight up feeding, and that's made us jealous. We want to do the same thing, so little steps. So we sit on this stool and we feed them. So hopefully if I just sit here, just the very presence will start to bring these fish up. But in the meantime, another good thing as well is this area is quite shallow and the water clarity is very good. It might not appear so on the camera, but it is quite good. And when the fish come up close, you can examine them without actually taking them out and putting them in a bowl. So as I said on a previous video, the chag has got some carp pox on it. It also gives us a chance to look at the other fish, and you can also notice changes in characteristics, such as Psycho Sally, that's one of the decoys. You want to subscribe to him as well. So any change in characteristic, and if you've got a chance to look at them in shallow waters, make sure you do that. Somebody wanted me to look at plants. Not a strong subject, and I'll do that. I'll do it now. So what we have is Kat went through all the mints that surround the garden. And I've been told by a gentleman called, I think he's called Dan Harry, first time gardener. Gave him a follow, seems to know what he's on about. And the large weed that sits on the surface of the water is dwarf parrot's feather. So I hope I've got that right. And then the tall spirally stuff is pickerel weed, I think it is. What we did notice, just before I forget, this is yellow flag iris. This acts as a boat sail, so if you do have this planted, make sure you have a huge pot, which I clearly don't. That's because it's down the other end of the garden. But what we're looking at is this little blighter, so you can just see that popping through. That is a white lily. Now I was told by Kat that this only flowers for about 3 days, so what I'm hoping for this weekend is that actually opens up. So I'm quite excited about that. Anyway, potting plants in a pond. I think it was a guy called Dean asked me. Now again, Dean, I'm really sorry about this, but these are the plant containers that we have. The large one, and it's huge, and that's how big my hand is inside that. It's very deep, quite deep. That will be filled with aquatic compost. So this is the stuff that we've got. This is not a recommendation because it was basically sold on the fact that it said aquatic compost. But this is by a company called Westland Garden Health. Very easy to get hold of. Plenty of garden centres will have it, but that's what we use. On top of that, once you get your plant planted, you've got to hold it down with gravel. Now if I just had goldfish, I'd probably throw just any old gravel in the top, but of course you've got to think about the leaching, the product that you're actually putting in. Is it going to turn the water acidic or more alkaline? So we're waiting for a delivery of aquatic gravel, but due to the COVID issue that's taking quite a while. So once that arrives we will pot some more plants. Oh, it might be an idea if I actually showed you the plants. These are due to go in, so this is quite delicate. Makes me wish there were a little label on it, then I could tell you what it was. This one does have a label on, thankfully, and that is a marginal plant. Probably the first time gardener will be able to explain what these are, but I'm pretty much certain that those two are due to go in some of these pots. So when the gravel arrives, that's what we're going to do. Anyway, in the meantime, on Saturday the winner of the Birdbox is coming, Martin Ward, and his I think his wife's coming as well, over from Leicester. So Martin asked for a Birdbox rather than a koi voucher, so I've put this little number together. So this side is probably your Sankey, this side your Kahaku. It's a very similar design to the one that I've got up there, but that's a 32mm hole, and he said he wants it for his blue tits, and blue tit according to the RSPB website is 25mm, so that's his prize. I've sent the pictures to him, so he's already well aware of it, and that's where we are. This video is going to be split up into sections because I've got some pictures that Kat took of the bold koi that we bought from Quenny Koi, so it will be a little bit staggered, but just bear with us. So in the meantime we shall either look at some photographs, I haven't decided which way we're going to go with this, but look at some photographs or talk about something else. But thanks for watching. Just in case I don't do any of that and I've told a complete fib, and I'm up to 666 subscribers, which brings out the devil in me, so please, just one more person subscribe so I'm not stuck on that. Have a safe day, and I'll catch you further on in this video, whatever it may contain. Bye. Right, we're back again. Now we're going to have a little look at the goldfish. We've got black goldfish, which I can see, and probably because of the poor camera you can't see. We've got shabunkins in there, and these are all a different size, and they are very greedy. The last few weeks they've had a couple of sessions of spawning and absolutely crashing through this what did I say, parrot's feather weed. I was talking about putting gravel in your baskets, and what the goldfish like to do is, as soon as you've made a neat job, they will take all the gravel and throw it out all over the floor. So the next plan is to put larger aquatic gravel in the plant pots so they can't lift it, but the chances are they'll work together and just destroy it all. So they are there, trust me. Shabunkins there. It's quite a bad reflection on this, but see if we can get some to come out. The goldfish, like the koi, are always hungry at these temperatures. They're just famished all the time. The flag fen is being held up by a piece of rope, because until we get the larger plant pot in situ, nothing's going to hold that up against the wind. Come on, where are you? Started saying here fishy fishy in my mind then, but I don't want to say that on camera because that sounds ridiculous. Plenty of shade there, plenty of oxygen going in, and in the far corner down here is a second return. This is the primary return that goes through the water vase, but there is a secondary return to make sure I've got a good circular motion of the water below pond level. The weed that pointed out here, the parrot's feather, apparently you've got to really hack at that because it grows really fast. So you cannot be timid with the shears, you really have to get rid of it. I dare say these goldfish, how they're moving around now, they want feeding yet again. They've noticed me moving around. As far as predators go, I think they've that much area to hide in. I haven't lost any goldfish at all. Touch wood. So basically half the pond is covered with weed, good oxygenation, and they're well fed. In the bottom pond, just breaking off from goldfish, and due to this sun, I'm now getting the algae back, wouldn't you believe? Anyway, we'll have to deal with that later, because in the meantime I have got a second dose of fluke solve that needs to go in, and that's going to be on Saturday afternoon. So rather than piling loads of chemicals, one thing at a time, let's get that organised. I did have a strange thought, shall I just actually get a sweeping brush in there, just go mad and throw it all over the place, and then give the filters 24 hours of hard graft, make them earn the money, and see if that works. Why did I suggest that? Well, from an engineering point of view, it looks like a decent thing to do. Is it the right thing to do? I haven't got a clue, not a clue. So if anybody out there does that, I do scrub the side of my pond, so does it make a difference if I brush the bottom of my pond? Just let me know. Anyway, I'll break off there and we'll add something else to that later. Take care. Yes, it's me back again. One thing that I noticed on my comments when it comes to bird boxes is a few people want to know how much would I sell them for. That's quite a nice thing to say actually, but I'm not in the business of selling the bird boxes. The amount of time that goes into them, I wouldn't be able to get that back. I could turn around and say it's going to cost £50 for a bird box, but that is absolutely ridiculous. Who'd pay £50 for a bird box? So I think what I would do is, I do appreciate what you're saying, but what I would do is sporadically, over the period of me having the YouTube channel, is if I believe that someone is worthy of getting a bird box, or I look at their videos and think, oh, one of my bird boxes would fit there, I would design one, get in touch with them, you know, give us your information, and I will just post one off. I've just recently posted one off to another YouTuber who he's just a great lad. If you don't follow James the Koi Whisperer, big mistake. You have to follow that guy. He is just so enthusiastic about his hobby and his family. It's wonderful to watch. Turn your TV off and put YouTube on. Do yourself a favour, and happy days, but you'll hear about that later. I posted a bird box down to him, and the postage alone was £13.40. And if I pay, I think it's £20 for the wood, then £13.40 on top of that, then I've got to get my time back. The cost of a bird box would be just stupid, and nobody's going to pay. I'm not stupid enough to believe that you'd want to pay that. So like I said, I do really thank you for saying that you would like to buy one, but it is just simply not cost effective. So I will just post them out to various people who I believe would warrant one. When it comes to 1,000 subscribers, my prize has to be a bigger one. It stands to reason that 500 is a bird box, and 1,000 will be, I don't know, an eagle nest. No, I'm kidding. It will be a nice prize, but I'm only on 666, so we're still getting there. And thank you for your support. But when it comes to the bird boxes, I couldn't make any money out of it. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not interested in money. I've got a nice way of life, and I'm happy with that. I'm from Yorkshire, I'm from Leeds, so just a simple life. But there you go. Anyway, that's another little segment that I'm going to join on to the rest of it. Bye. So just for those people that wondered, and it's aimed at Martin Devoncoy, to be honest, but this polycarbonate sheet, I was thinking about the air gap underneath there. The distance between the water and the underside is just over 2 inch, and I believe Martin was discussing the sweet spot between 2 and 4 inch. So although we've had high temperatures recently and there's not a lot of dips and spikes during the night, what I'm hoping for come winter time is that it just wipes out all those dips and troughs and manages to hold the nighttime water temperature at a reasonable level. But that's a wintertime project, we shall see. So that's just an update for Martin. Thank you. Well, I think that wraps it up. I don't think Steven Spielberg or James Cameron or any superb film director has got anything to worry about my directing and editing skills, but I needed to jam it all in as much as possible. Thank you to the new subscribers that have joined recently, and to the old subscribers who've stuck with me with this very disjointed channel that I have. Those that are liking, thumbs up or thumbs down, please add yourself as a subscriber, hit that notification bell, and as soon as I deliver a video you'll see it. Anyway, in the meantime, look after your family, stay safe and enjoy the sunshine. Bye bye.